Hi, this is Dr. Scott Young, and today we're going to get into a different conversation. You're going to see this on June the 13th, right before the supposed riots are supposed to go on in 17 different cities. And I have a green background because my response to it is go baby. Let's not for the riots, but go for the military, because that's what I'm just been praying about for this whole thing is let's go, guys. Let's see the military go. They are getting deployed, and if they're getting deployed, I'm all for the military. Man, I'm all for them, and I've been for them for a very long time frame. I'm sick and tired of the liberals. And I just have a couple thoughts in here that are kind of related. This lady, I kind of cut her down a little bit. She kind of rambled here. Sometimes I do too. Apologize for that. But she actually had some interesting things to say about electoral votes with that. Listen to this.
Is about the Democratic Party. I mean, what if it really is like the deportations and stuff about the electoral votes that California will maybe lose if it comes back that their population has decreased? So, like, we know a bunch of people in COVID moved to Texas, Florida. They moved all over, but they moved in large part. Tennessee got a lot. That a lot of people migrated, and we know that they have a huge illegal immigrant population. Your electoral votes are based on how many people live.
So, and she's got a point because there are a huge number of illegals all the way up and down California. The very interesting population totals are fascinating with this. This is a picture actually taken um, that these are states that permit driver's license by undocumented immigrants. You know, that's the code for illegals. Look at all these Democrat states. What if illegals were not allowed to vote in these states? Now, think about that just for a second. Can Scott go to Spain and vote for the Spanish election? Why? Can Scott go to Canada and vote for their election? I don't live there, and I don't have a vested interest. No, if I move to Canada, I move to Congo, if I move to South Africa, I mean, do I have a right as a person, to be there? Maybe. I mean, maybe if I got a green card or whatever they would call that, in that particular land. But, as long as I live legally, within a level of documented status, but I'm undocumented in a place, why would I get a chance to vote in an election in a land? And it, this doesn't even make any sense. When you look at Republican, it's almost 100% of Republicans agree that this is ridiculous to have. And here's the funny thing. Over 60% about 40 to 60% of the Democrats actually disagree that you should even be able to vote as an illegal. So you're saying about you're 50-50 on this? And are they really 50-50, or maybe it's worse than you think it really is? Okay. So that's a fascinating kind of statement. So I want to show you a couple other little things here, and then we'll kind of show an analysis point here with that too. Let's bring this up. Sorry, got to take that off stage, and then got to make it, force it to kind of come up here. So this is, I got to make this a little bit easier for you to see. Sorry. Takes a second here to kind of make that a little bit bigger on the screen. Okay, so this is actually a year ago that Fleshman supports a bill to end counting of illegal aliens in electoral colleges. And I'm like, interesting conversation. So why is it that this actually didn't pass? No, I mean, as far as I know, it didn't pass. But this should be like a duh kind of issue, right? Uh, And yet, here's one of the things, and we'll go back to that map here in a little bit here, but I want you to see this. Musk, here's another thing. A year ago is calling out the same thing. Wait a second, these blue states are getting massive advantages toward different states to have, these people. Listen, you want to be a Democrat, fine. But I want American Democrats, American Republicans, people who are, or if you are a legal immigrant, you come to America, you apply for status, you become an American citizen, you get to vote in the election, and you want to vote for Kamala. I'm for you. I am all for you to vote for whomever you wish for. You want to do it for Nancy Pelosi, you want whoever you wish. That is fine because you have a right as a legal citizen in America to do this. But why do illegals get to come into our states and vote for these kinds of elections, right? And so you're seeing, the ridiculousness of this kind of thing. And they're kind of going, wait, why do we have this? Why do we have this situation in here? Look at this state maps. Now, to see this a little easier, the green areas are pro-immigration laws. Look at Illinois, right? Having heavy immigration laws that are good for Democrats, or excuse me, for illegals. And obviously, these states have immigration laws versus anti-immigration laws. A lot of these southern states with that too. Kansas is kind of in between on that, right? Whereas the white states are going, no, 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 we don't do that with that circumstance, right? And so you're seeing some really interesting statements out here. Now, then I want you to see a couple other, another little issue. We'll come back to that one in a second. And I want to bring this up on the stage. This is done by a woman. I've never seen this person before, so I don't know. But want to know why LA, Chicago, and New York are panicking about the ICE stuff. More illegals equals more fake addresses. Now, I want to pause there for a second. Do you know what fake addresses actually do? It creates not just fake addresses, like just fake addresses for the heck of it. It actually creates more fraud, and more fraud creates more fake addresses in the IRS. So they're taking fake money from all the USAID stuff. They're taking money from all the Doge stuff. There's a lot of stuff that's happening in that. So they're taking Social Security that's coming for you. You want to protect the Social Security. A huge portion of the Social Security is coming for these illegals. Wait a second. How are they getting Social Security? How are they getting Medicare, Medicaid? The fake addresses create bigger population counts. Bigger counts equals more federal dollars, adding illegals to the voting, permanent Democrat control. The cities aren't sanctuaries, they're fraud factories. They're scared of ICE exposing the receipts. Rigged elections, the shell nonprofits, contracts tied to cartels, the federal grants based upon lies, and the jig is up. And I agree with you, Amoria. I 100% agree with you, because here's what I want you to think about this one. And we'll bring this one back up to the screen here. Sorry, it takes a second. You just got to pull this puppy off, and then you got to pull that one back on. Think about this one as well. As we look at executive order, now you've heard me talk about this one several times. Executive order 13848. It imposes sanctions in the event of foreign interference upon United States election. Now, here's one of the things, if you've listened to me talk about this, I hereby, and this is where Trump says this, I hereby declare a national emergency to deal with this threat. When did he do this? Is September of 2018. And Joe Biden actually kept this going every single time. Now, I remember that Derek Johnson and I were really, really, really excited that I think it was in 22, right around this same time frame, excuse me, September of 22, that maybe it would go past and they wouldn't re-sign it. Well, they did, and we were kind of bummed about that circumstance. But what we were really seeing is that they wanted it to keep going because guess what? The military is in control. And now we're seeing military back in control of this situation. And the military is showing up in all of these cities. So I got to mention this thing to you. We've been asking and wondering, what does it take? Now, here's some of the issue that we're seeing. What do what does anyone who gets into office have to declare an oath? When they declare the oath is very simple. There's other words that basically say, but we're protecting the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. So Newsom and Pritzker, and pick any one that you're talking about, any of these governors, from Colorado to New York State or whatever you want to pick. What are they doing? They're violating the U.S. Constitution. They're violating the New York Constitution by protecting illegals in this way. We're seeing a systematic approach to that. We're seeing Nancy Pelosi and all these crazies doing this kind of issue, right? And they violated Executive Order 13818. And guess what? They're about to lose. And if it creates that military involvement, I'd say go ahead, and as the green light says, go baby go. Guys, buck up. This is if it is a military involvement that we have to have, and that's what brings us to what we need to be at, I'm all for it. You should too be, because you know what? This has been planned. I've been seeing some stuff. When you look at the 17th letter, there's some crazy cool things in there that this has been planned for a very, very long time. Don't be scared. Don't walk into your fear. Don't walk into your anger, even though it makes you angry and sometimes it makes you fearful. But know in faith, this is going to be solved. That's why I know this is going to work out. It is going to be okay. Thanks so much.